Hi, beautiful souls. Selena Trebuck here, your divine embodiment and activation coach. I am also a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for the last 17 years, as well as embodying, utilizing, and studying holistic health for the last 24 to 25 years. So, with that being said, today's topic at hand is going to be what can you be doing to improve or to really sustain your overall health, especially right now. There's a lot of fear coming up with individuals with their overall health and looking and striving to shift and change that, looking at things that they can do. Just personally that they can do in order to help improve that. So with that being said, the work that I do, if I worked with you one-on-one, or if you participated in some of my group coaching programs, you would see that I really take a holistic approach whenever I do work with someone. Ultimately, our emotional state, how we have emotions stored or trapped into our bodies, whether it's true traumas, perceived traumas throughout the years, are also interlinked to dis-ease throughout the body. And, if you would have told me that 10 years ago, I would have been like, I don't know that I really believe that. But I'm going to tell you now, yes, I can see the direct correlations. I've seen it over and over with my clients, but I've also seen and experienced it myself with my own personal health journey. So I personally have had two different types of cancer in my life, as well as dealing with things from anxiety to depression to, dealing with multiple different autoimmune issues over the years. So I share that just so that, if you're sitting here going, how does this girl even know anything? Yes, so much of it is came through personal experience that then put me on the journey, put me on the path first and foremost, because I said, hey, listen, I'm not just going to take medications for the rest of my life. I really want to optimize. I'm not going to settle. I really want to feel better. And I know some of you are right there in that space, and that's why you're watching this. So with that being said, the MTHFR gene mutation is one thing that I want to chat on first, and then we're going to talk a little bit on gut health as well. Okay. So if you are sitting here saying to yourself, am I more susceptible? Am I someone who, could contract, right? Some of this that's been going on over this last year, could I be more susceptible to that? If you're sitting there asking yourself that, I want you to first just hear me out on some of these supplements that you can use, some things that you can put into your daily habits to be able to help decrease your odds of having quite the reaction. And this is something that, literally I implemented. I put these things into place as when all of this started, I was not at my optimal health. Okay. So, first and foremost, I want to talk about MTHFRG mutation. So, the MTHFRG mutation, yes, it's not a cuss word. It is actually a scientific gene mutation. There's actually two different forms. I personally carry both of those forms. So, what does that mean? Well, actually, about 50 to 60% of the population has that. I personally feel like that number is actually even higher than that, as testing is really getting started to be more expanded. Okay, so there's a lot of individuals who don't even know, they've never been tested, right? But the average is about 50% or half of the population is actually walking around with this gene mutation. If you would like to know more of how that has came about for this gene mutation, I'll let you go down that journey yourself. I won't talk on that today. So with that being said, the MTHFR gene mutation prevents our body from being able to absorb vital B nutrients that are directly linked to overall health, especially our emotional health, from how we're feeling, if we're happy, if we're sad, and those kinds of things, but also folates. So the folates, which maybe you're saying to yourself, oh, I take folic acid. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have the gene mutation, folic acid is actually toxic. It's actually poisonous for you, as your body cannot expel those toxins throughout your body. It can't convert it. It doesn't work. Okay. So it's actually doing more harm than it is good. And you may be saying to yourself, but everything has had folic acid in it, right? We've been preached, we've been told it's wrong, it's misinformation. Yes, I did say that. Okay. So look at your vitamins, your supplementations that you're taking. If it does say folic acid in it, then we really need to look at that. We really need to shift and get something that your body's actually going to be able to absorb, right? Nobody wants to be spending the expense on, or doing the actions that they think are going to help them improve their health, but ultimately it's something that we're not absorbing, we're just peeing it out. Right. So with that, the MTHFR gene mutation is also directly linked to autoimmune disorders starting to pop up throughout the body. It is also interlinked to women having multiple miscarriages, as well as PCOS, as well as hormonal issues, the depression, like so many different things are interlinked to this MTHFR gene mutation. But most importantly, again, I'm going to take this back a little bit. I mentioned earlier about being able to expel toxins or release toxins from your body. So That is a main key with this gene mutation. So this is why I personally, I don't do extra vaccinations. I don't do any of those things. We don't do that with our children either. Okay. So with that being said, that would be number one, is looking for a methylated. So what would I recommend? I would recommend for everyone to find methylated forms of folate. I would also recommend that they find methylated forms of their B vitamins. Okay. So that is intricate. If you need to dive into that a little bit deeper, please set up a consult with me and we'll look at that. We'll look at maybe some other things that may be going on with you as well that we can fine tune. Okay. So B12s, your B vitamins, your folates, we want everything to be methylated so that you're actually absorbing them, you're utilizing them, and your body's getting what it needs. Okay. Number two would have to be gut health. Wow, cannot stress this enough. And things have advanced so much over the years. When I first started using probiotics, literally you had to get the ones that were in the refrigerator. And reality, half of it didn't even survive past the stomach acid, so it didn't even make it to the gut where it needed to go. If you've taken one antibiotic, that antibiotic knocks out or negatively impacts the good bacteria in your gut for at least 7 to 8 years, unless you are proactive. But I'm going to tell you, if you even with being proactive about it, it still is going to take time. It will take time. So I'm not huge on using antibiotics. There are so many things. Our bodies are so smart on being able to help us combat and being able to help us fight things. This is why natural immunity is so important and so key. And your gut is actually 70 to 80% of your immune system. It is also where most of your serotonin, your dopamine levels that are affecting, if you're experiencing depression, if you're experiencing that fight, flight, and all of that. Also your melatonin, right, to help you sleep. All of that is housed. And if you have a healthy gut, you're going to have healthier levels of that. Is this something that you may, if you're already struggling with gut health issues, have to continue on, right? It's something you have to continue to work through. Yes. All right. I'm going to tell you that I actually was diagnosed with IBS clear back at the age of 18 years old, and I still at 42 years old have to be conscious of what it is that I'm putting into my gut, what it is that I'm using. So a good probiotic is intricate. It needs to be one that is definitely acid resistant. Okay. You're, again, any of these things that I'm sharing today, if you're wanting deep dives, you're wanting some recommendations, please, 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 please don't hesitate to comment, to reach out, to set up a consult with me. We can dive into that deeper as well. Okay. So the other thing that I would implement and that I would recommend is getting a good D vitamin. All right. D3 honestly is the best. You do want to be taking that in conjunction with like a K2. You also want to make sure that you're taking that in conjunction with your magnesium. If you take that also with a fat or with your omegas, okay, this is going to help with the absorption. It also helps with the conversion. Okay. Now, vitamin D also getting out in the sun. The sun is pure bliss to your overall immune system and your overall health as well. So with that, I definitely recommend that you do take your vitamin D, a D3, all right, and that you take that paired with a K2, that you also take that paired with some magnesium. If you have any kind of other health things going on, you need to consult a doctor on that, please do that, okay? But otherwise, I would definitely recommend that also with your omega and taking that at night before you go to bed for the best conversion. This is also going to help your body to start naturally producing melatonin. I do not recommend that you take a melatonin supplement on a regular basis because we want our bodies to continue to produce the natural hormones, the natural responses. We want those to still be occurring in our bodies. Okay. So definitely I would take those at night. And lastly, it's making sure that you're drinking your water. Okay. Water is intricate. We are mostly made up of water. If we're not drinking water, we're not keeping our lungs, we're not keeping our nose, we're not keeping our whole entire body, keeping everything moving as it should be. We're not distributing all of the good nutrients that we're taking in. We're not, also excreting or removing out all of the toxins that we could be exposed to, but we are, no matter what, right? I buy specific things for our household, from soaps to our shampoos to all of those things, from one space and one manufacturer that I can trust, that I know that there are not, this whole laundry list of toxic ingredients in there because they manufacture and make everything. So guys, water is intricate to help you, with with flushing out the system, it also helps to move those negative emotions as well throughout our body. So drinking about half of your body weight in ounces is intricate. I do recommend that you use like a pink Himalayan salt in order to make sure that you are not just flushing out your electrolytes as well. So, most people think, oh, hydration, you just drink water. Well, true hydration, you need to make sure that you're putting electrolytes back in. Maybe you're saying to yourself, pink Himalayan salt, wait, it's going to make me puffy, swollen. No, it will not. It actually has the proper micronutrients. It is not like an iodized salt that's actually binded to dextrose. Okay, so you're saying, what is she even talking about? It's all right. Those of you that are nerdy, you're loving this right now. Anyway, so the pink Himalayan salt is going to have more micronutrients into it, but it is actually going to be more natural for your body. Okay. So those are some things that I would recommend. Sure, there's a lot of other things such as movement and stuff like that, but ultimately the B vitamins, making sure that you're getting those in, you're getting a proper folate into your system, that you're taking care of the gut health, that you're going through your drinking your water, and overall just taking that time to make sure that you're getting your vitamin D levels up. Okay. So these are just a few tips. If you found value in this, please drop that at the bottom. If you're looking for more of this type of information, drop that in here as well. And I hope that you find value in this. I hope that you have an amazing, amazing day. I hope that you have more peace and joy and love all falling and floating to you in your life. And I will see you again soon next time.